Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Coming to you on 101.5 FM, the Odyssey app, AUDACY. If you don't have it, get it. I guarantee you that doves will fly and choruses will sing when you put that on your phone, I promise. And, of course, we're also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So if you want to hop in, you can get into the chat box there and interact with the show. We're going to have a great time today. A ton of interesting things going on. You know, a little bit of Vegas news, so we're going to get into all of that. Of course, some politics. We've got, Karrion Kross is actually getting over finally. We got Mox going crazy. We got Bound for Glory coming up. I mean, my God, brace yourselves, everybody. And, of course, I always don't screw around. I bring around the best I can get to come on the show with me. But I didn't today. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get these guys in here. First, from ad-free shows, taking the time to join us, it's Coach Rosey. Josh Rosenbaum, what's up?
Good morning. How you doing, Mark? It's starting to cool down for both of us in Vegas and Phoenix. So
yeah,
beautiful time of year.
It dropped. If you didn't happen to see this on your national weather maps, it dropped about 30 degrees here in Las Vegas, 30 or 40. It was in windy in the 60s, and yeah, we got a little bit of a chill out here for us anyway. I'm fine because I'm a Dakota kid. I can handle it, but some people not so much. But very happy to have Josh Rosenbaum. And speaking of cold, driving through the mountains of Pennsylvania, apparently, coming back from Pro Wrestling Revolver. And I got to say, he is looking like a badass. If you're not on the stream, you got to see Phil Stamper here, because he's got his shades on, the sunlight shining in the car window, and he looks like he's out campaigning himself. Phil, how are you, sir?
I am doing as well as I can be right now.
That's crazy. By the way, I also, just in case we do lose Phil, I did also call Stu Myrick's going to join us in the second hour, so we're going to get Stu in there to help us out a little bit too. But very happy to have both of you gentlemen on the show. Coach Rosey, how's things going at Ad Free, man?
Oh, great. We have 2 new shows. We just premiered an all-women show with Megan and Amy and their first guest was Missy Hyatt. So that was a great show. And Conrad's about to bring on Niven, who's going to talk about his finish in WWE. So there's a lot of great things happening over at Ad Free Shows.
And, of course, Phil Stamper doing his thing with Pro Wrestling Revolver. Phil, you guys done a couple of big shows the last couple of weeks, man.
I mean, we really, really have packed houses in both Grand Prairie, Texas, and then last night was Dayton, Ohio. Great time at both of them. My mind is boggled right now with the amount of people I've interacted with and who've just been great to work with. Elias and Myron Reed and Speedball Mike Bailey, and of course it's always interesting when Sami Callihan's around. So
no doubt about that. But yeah, so some terrific stuff going on with our guests. The first thing I wanted to start off with, guys, and I can't believe I actually almost forgot about this in my stupor because I hurt my ankle yesterday and wasn't thinking too clearly. The WWE WrestleMania 41 tickets are going on sale next week, but the ticket packages came out about a week ago, guys. And for those of you that live here in Las Vegas and are listening, you might want to get on some of these, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts about these ticket packages. Now, they haven't announced the prices for just a plain old ticket. But guys, listen to this. This is your silver package. You get two tickets, a 2-night ticket, upper level seating. WrestleMania kickoff party. Cody Rhodes is going to be there. Access to WWE World Superstore access, priority pass entrance, and professional on location, on site support staff. So I guess you get a little extra help. One ticket, guys, for the silver is $1,600. $1,600. You want to do a little better? Gold. That'll get you in the lower level. You get some exclusive WrestleMania 41 priority pass gifting, plus everything else. And you get to also do an event on stage with John Cena. That's $5,250 for that one. Oh, wait. Do you think we're done? No. We have the champion package. Premium floor seating, ringside photo op. You get to go to the Top Golf with Miz, the Cena event, you get the Superstore access. That is $7,000, and they are putting limited inventory on that one. So they must be selling that one. Suite by the seat, so you get to be in a suite. A TV title photo op, the Miz, the store, the gifting, $6,500. Oh, we're not done. We're not done, guys. Undertaker suite by the seat. 2-night ticket. You get a premium suite, all-inclusive food and beverage, in-suite Undertaker appearance, authentic Undertaker championship title and photo op, Top Golf with Miz, all that fun stuff, exclusive Undertaker gifting, $9,950. And then they have other elite experiences that you can get. Prices not listed. Guys, what do you think of that? Is that a fair price? What do you think about it? Coach, let me give that to you first.
Well, I want the Iron Mike Sharp level. Give me the last row in the top, 2 hot dogs and a soda for $100. I'll pay for that level, but it seems like WrestleMania is going corporate. It's like the Super Bowl now. It's taking guys like us out of the equation that would really revel in being at, the event of events, and they're kind of pricing the average Joe out of the business.
Yeah, and Vegas prices at the Allegiant Stadium, especially for the Raiders, tend to be a little higher. But and like I said, we don't know what just buying a ticket to the event's going to be. Phil, what do you think about these packages? Are these reasonable prices for what they're giving you?
Well, I mean, it is WrestleMania, so if there is a comparable, it is the Super Bowl of the wrestling season, and so it is going to be a higher price point. I'm honest. I'm not overly shocked. I'm a little bit at the higher end, like, not something I would necessarily go for. I'm not going to lie. The silver package for somebody who's like an aficionado, who's like, I've never had the WrestleMania experience before. I don't have like this wealth to spend, but something that's like, $1,600, I might be able to reach that attainable. That seems semi-attainable, on top of that having to pay for the flight and the hotel once I get there. So I feel like for WrestleMania, it's in a realm of appropriateness. But you're right, you're not gonna get the top level back row $100 ticket either. So the average fan is being priced out, but the average fan has been priced out for a long time of all sports. Unfortunately, I think there should be a reserve area for some lower price tickets that should be held at the door and not able to go through a third party reseller. But that's just my opinion. Yeah,
we've seen very interesting prices for the Raiders here in Las Vegas. I can tell you that a few years ago I wanted to, and this would be when the stadium finally opened up. I went to look to see how much a ticket to go to see the Raiders play the Eagles, and we were talking upper level $500. $500. So it's not cheap to get into Allegiant Stadium as is, but yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what the ticket prices are. They are going to do pre-sale on Wednesday, and then the the ticket sales open up on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time on Ticketmaster. I'm going to be really interested to see what happens with how much those, just a nosebleed seat's going to be at WrestleMania. I mean, those packages sound fun, but man, $10,000 to see The Undertaker and hang out? That seems like a lot.
I still have a little PTSD from the Royal Rumble when the credit card machines went down at Allegiant, and none of us can get food or drink, or that was chaos for the first show at the Rumble. So hopefully it's improved this year.
Yeah. So very interesting decision by WWE. Like I said, I don't know what the market's going to bear on that, but I'm guessing they did their research, so we'll see. But if you get one of those packages, if you're out there listening and get one of those packages, I would love to hear from you. So, you can catch us at Mark Hoke Show on X and all over the place. So that would be cool. Let's keep going on WWE for a little bit. I'm going to save one of my fun topics for the next segment. But this whole thing with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Kevin did a promo where they told him you can't come over to SmackDown. You beat Cody up. And it was a really mellow promo by Kevin. Of course, Randy had just punched him in the face, too. What do you guys think about where these three are going? And who's the heel? Who is really the heel in all this? Because I got to be honest with you, I see Kevin's point. I see his point. So I'm curious. Let me go to you, Phil, first. What do you think about this? Who's the real heel in the Cody, Orton, Kevin Owens triangle?
Okay, one, you never trust Randy Orton. Automatically heel. Done. Kevin Owens is right there as well. But let's face it. Until Cody drops that title, he's not going to be heel in the WWE. I thought he was actually heel in his end of AEW run, but we're not going to see heel Cody for a little bit. So Cody's over here. He's in his pocket. But Randy Orton is always going to be the heel.
Coach, is Randy Orton the heel, or I don't know. I there's something telling me something weird's going to happen with Cody. I don't know what it is. It's my 40 years of not trusting professional wrestlers, but is Orton the heel, Coach?
No, Kevin Owens, and I loved how he sucker punched with that secret footage we had. He beat Randy to the punch. Kevin Owens might have a point, but you don't do that to Cody. Cody is, I'm speaking as a fan here. I love Cody's presentation, and I love Cody's story. So when you mess with Cody, you mess with me. Randy Orton, he can come or go. Yeah, I loved how he sucker punched him with that secret footage. And I loved how the fans caught that footage of when Kevin beat up Cody by the bus. The storytelling in WWE is tremendous. So all this speculation that we have, who knows what's in the mind of Triple H? There could be somebody coming in. Cody might flip. Kevin might flip. Randy, we know, is he might have gone to NXT that Tuesday night to go try to find some backup. Who knows? But the stories are great.
I don't know. I sympathize with Kevin on this. That it would be me if it were me. I'd be bothered that my good pal is teaming up with my worst enemy. I don't think I'd like that very much. So, man, I don't know. This is gonna be fun. And I swear to God, if they set up a triple threat with those three guys, that would be a WrestleMania match. Good Lord, that'd be fun. So
I think the speculation of the triple threat with The Rock, Cody, and Roman is not going to happen. I don't think you can put those three egos in the room together. No. But that three, maybe make those three have something at the Royal Rumble where they change things up, where the winner of the Royal Rumble does not fight Roman, but the winner of that three-way fight Roman or The Rock or whatever. There's a lot of options here, and I'm all for it.
Yeah,
WWE is keeping me guessing, where AEW is just lockstep. I can predict pretty much everything.
Do you agree with that, Phil? That WWE's got you guessing and AEW's got you, in a place where you know what's happening?
In a degree. I think I think WWE's in a good place right now for that. I think AEW still has some work to get there. I like to believe there's still surprises that AEW can throw at us, but I'm still like, okay, where is Roman and The Rock have never settled their beef? There's still that. There is still, Roman's never had his rematch. The Rock and Cody have not had their one-on-one. So there is a lot already going into WrestleMania. So part of me is like, is a night one, and I think we talked about this before. I have been feeling like night one is going to be like Randy Orton versus Cody, and then Rock versus Roman, and night two will be whoever wins both of those matches will go on to face off against each other, and it'll probably be Rock and Cody.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So, man, get ready, Las Vegas. We're only about, 6 months away. Still a long way to go, but it should be fun. By the way, the Bionic Scoop in the chat box says, I warned people they were going to tax for these. He was right. The Scoop knows what he's talking about, that's for sure. All right, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, oh, my God. I know we are on a talk station, but we are actually going to be slightly talking politics. Slightly. We're not going to get super deep, I promise. But all of a sudden, there's a political war in the world of pro wrestling. The fans are split. It's crazy. How did this happen? Oh, can't get away from it. 2 weeks to the election, and we got boys fighting. Stick around, everybody. I've got Coach Rosey, Phil Stamper on the Mark Hoke Show. We will be right back.
.1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody, let's keep it rolling here. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show, coming to you live from Las Vegas on KDAWN 1015 FM is the talk of Las Vegas. The Odyssey app, which I'm sure Coach Rosey and Phil Stamper have got in there by now. I think Phil made a stop and must have gone into a convenience store. We'll
could be a Waymo.
Yeah.
It could be a Waymo.
Well, Waymo. I don't know if Wawa is in the western part of PA, but yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff. So we'll get as soon as Phil pops back in here, we'll get him on too. But of course, Coach Rosey from Ad Free Shows, they have all those terrific shows on there with so many of the all-time greats. Of course, Conrad Thompson running the show over there. So make sure you check that out at adfreeshows.com. All right. So as we wait for Phil to get back, we'll just dive right into it, though.
Just do it.
It has been a very odd year in politics, to say the least. Yes. Very odd. As someone who's a history major and has been watching presidential politics since Carter and Ford, I think I can fairly say that. Well, all of a sudden, all hell has broken loose amongst pro wrestling fans because we had Hulk Hogan at the RNC doing a speech, which ignited a lot of people. People got a kick out of that. Some people didn't. They're banging on Hulk Hogan. But then we had a conflict between Dave Bautista and Undertaker in competing ads and issues and so on, as Dave Bautista did a piece for the Jimmy Kimmel show where he threw a lot of insults at Donald Trump, saying he wasn't a tough guy and all this kind of stuff. And pretty much just a lot of name calling in there more than anything else. And then the Undertaker is going to be having Donald Trump on his podcast as a guest. And it looks like our good buddy Kane as well is going to be involved in that. Of course, in real life, Glenn Jacobs is the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. He is a Republican. We also had CM Punk weighing in again. He had done an Instagram post saying free Palestine. And now on the CFFC 137 fighting card, where he's a color commentator, they started talking politics a little bit, and he said, I'm CM Punk, and I wish we would stop genocide. All right, Coach. Just generally first, what do you think of this? Now, there's four pretty big names in the pro wrestling world, only one of them active, getting into the political arena on this. How are you feeling about just in general if that's a good idea or not?
Well, everyone I've always talked to when I was trying to make my way into this business is never talk about religion and never talk about politics. But this is 2024, and I think the Undertaker and Bautista, I think they're working it. I think Undertaker wants a lot of views for his show. I think CM Punk is authentic. He's never been shy to share his words, and obviously Kane's a Republican mayor. So will it alienate some fans? Maybe. But we're in a world right now where people are passionate, and wrestling is a passionate industry. And the fans of The Undertaker and Bautista, if they tend to side with their political views, I think it'll only enhance their pocketbooks and enhance their viewership.
Yeah, it's hard to not get it. I mean, this has been a very intense election period, and I think a lot of people feel on both sides that there's a lot on the line more than maybe a lot recent presidential elections. So there's a lot of passion on this right now. But Phil, you just got back in here. We're just talking about The Undertaker and Batista doing their thing, and Hulk Hogan and CM Punk. Just in general, what are your thoughts about everybody getting involved in politics in this season? Oh, we gotta. Hang on, I'll get you unmuted.
It's always a bit of a sticky wicket, right?
Yeah.
Because you are in front of a camera, you're an entertainer. People know you for the persona you carry, and so is it your persona carrying it? Is it your character? Is it you as a person? Because the Rock back in I want to say it was 2000, but I might be wrong about that year. Maybe it was 2004. Spoke at the Republican National Convention, but he's very democratic. And so you risk a little bit of alienating part of your own audience that you've developed with your brand by aligning anyway politically. So it's always a danger. It's always a risk. I'm not saying people should not say with the passion that they have, this is who I support, this is what I believe, this is what I value. But then the other side of that is the risk of public backlash. And that's unfortunate what I think some people are going to experience.
Now, I think there's a big difference between, say, Undertaker, Batista, Hogan, who aren't active as in professional wrestling right now, as opposed to Punk, who is active. And is he bulletproof from this stuff? Or, do you think that he is alienating fans? Do you think the cult of personality plays and nobody cares? Coach?
I think that it'll definitely, if it gets to be a certain point, I think TKO will step in and say something. I think they're not afraid to rein him in. Go ahead, Phil. Okay. It's a corporation. So if it's going to hurt TKO's bottom line, they're going to say something to Punk. Obviously, he made the comment on social media. Maybe nobody said anything to him. Now he says something at this MMA fight. We could see the rhetoric start to get toned down.
Yeah, because he did also make a couple political stances on AEW TV as well. Looks like we lost Phil for a little bit, so we'll get Phil back in a while. But he did do some things on TV as well. If you remember when he was down in Texas and he wore an abortion rights shirt, and we also had him, there was I think it was a trans rights thing that he did at AEW All In 2 years ago. So it's, you got to wonder, because WWE has really tried to stay away from that stuff. Even though the McMahons, when they were running it, are Republicans, man, they kept anything that was slightly political very generic. So they didn't mess around with it at all. I'm curious to see what kind of backlash is going to get. And Coach, it was funny too, because I saw a post this morning about this whole thing with Undertaker and Bautista, and it was really split. It was and actually leaning a little bit more towards the Undertaker side. Somebody just put up a post that said, who you support, Undertaker or Bautista, and it looked like more of the responses were going towards the Undertaker, but I just think it's very difficult, and it's a tough line for these guys to walk when they're, you're trying to entertain everybody. And, we've seen in Hollywood a lot too, that when people have taken stances in Hollywood, it kind of alienate, and they're a little crazy about it, they alienate their fans. So I don't know. I think it just goes to show how passionate everybody is about this election right now. It's splitting a lot of people.
I think a lot of people, even though they love their wrestlers, I think that this is such a big election that people aren't going to look at, entertainment figures, because they're not, they're great people, but they don't know the X's and O's of policy, of this, that, and the other. So to make an educated decision, I would say you do some reading yourself. Don't just take the Undertaker's word for it. Don't take Batista's word for it. Do your own research. I support those guys, but this is a big election. And either way, Republican, Democrat, get out and vote.
Do you think that these people actually have influence? When Hulk Hogan went there to the RNC, do you think that made people change their mind, or someone that was undecided go and when Undertaker says, Batista says, do you think that they really do have legitimate influence?
I do. Come at me at 18, 19, 20, 21. If Ric Flair told the world vote for, Bill Clinton or vote for George Bush Sr., I would have voted it right away.
Wow.
Wrestling fans are very passionate. They live in the skin of the wrestlers. They love to hear about the personal behind the scenes and how the sausage is made. So I do think they have some influence. And you see the politicians reaching out to entertainers. I mean, President Trump was on Theo Vaughn. Kamala Harris this week was on Charlemagne the God. They look to the influencers and unfortunately the Twitter and the Instagram influencers to try to push the message across, because there are a lot of people that don't have the time and really don't even want to get involved in politics. So if they're who they love, tell them to vote for this person. It's just an easy way to not have to think about it.
No, I just hope we don't have any fights in the stands over the next couple of weeks.
No.
But it's fascinating to me because while I've seen celebrities endorsing candidates over the years, I can't remember it ever bleeding into the pro wrestling world like this. So this is going to be fascinating, and it'll be fun to see what the Undertaker does with Donald Trump on his podcast when that interview happens.
I'll listen.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to it. I mean, it's going to definitely get him some views, that's for sure. But we'll find out how all that turns out. It is going to be something else, to say the least. So, all right, and just give me 1 second here, guys, because I'm just checking something out. But I'll tell you what, let me hit another break. Before we do, I just want to remind everybody that we were talking about those WrestleMania ticket packages. Well, you're going to need a hotel room, right? Coach, you're going to need a hotel room, right?
I've already looked this morning. I know I'm going to go to you for a room, but Circus is $300 WrestleMania weekend.
Well,
so I can imagine what the Fontainebleau and what the other resorts are if Circus is already $300. And who else would I go to besides the man that lives in Vegas, who knows the hotels, who knows the system, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, and what I'm going to tell everybody to do is go to thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show. That's going to get you those great rates that you can only get on, for employees and so on. You get on Priceline, and Priceline has those special rates that you can get, but you don't know what hotel you're going to book. Well, thetravelshark.com works with Priceline and just gives you those rates. So this might not be a bad time to start taking a look at the TravelShark.com/Hoke show and sign up there,
right now.
get a membership and check out those room prices. And, because there's a lot of other events going on too, you're going to want to get the best rates you can. So make sure you check it out at the TravelShark.com/Hoke show. You got to put that Hoke show on there or I don't get paid. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd certainly appreciate it. All right. And when we come back, oh my goodness, some more WWE stuff. Writers saying things were kind of rough in WWE land. Karrion Kross, is he finally getting over? And Lash Legend comes up with a win, too. How about that? So stick around, everybody. Got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. We'll be right back.
Looking for high-quality custom screen printing in Las Vegas? Look no further than Off Grid Creations. Need a few custom t-shirts for a local event, band merchandise, or family reunion? We've got you covered. Large order of uniforms for your staff, sports team, or club? We can handle that too. Our experienced team will work closely with you throughout the entire process from design consultation to final product. Call us at 661-300-1115. That's 661-300-1115 or visit our website at off-gridcreations.com. Get a free consultation today.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's get back to it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on The Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, streaming on the Odyssey app. And also live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Just go to The Mark Hoke Show or Mark Hoke Show, and you can get in there. By the way, Coach, I just looked at those hotel rooms on Travel Shark.
How much were they? Please, I'm just signing up for the app.
Right.
I'm going to Hollywood this weekend. Here it is right here. I'm looking at a room in Hollywood. My son wants to go to the Walk of Fame this week. One of his favorite stars is getting a star, Ken Jeong from The Hangover.
Oh, there you go.
And, yeah, we're going to Hollywood this weekend. So I just found a room that was $75 a night cheaper than Expedia. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Same place.
There you go. And you just said it was like $900 a room for WrestleMania, or 300 a night. Yeah. So listen, I don't want to sound like I'm pushing this too much, but this is just to give you an idea how cool this site is. So the Rio, I'm looking at some of the lower ones right now, but the Rio is a $109 a night for WrestleMania weekend with Travel Shark. Westgate $110. Mardi Gras Hotel is $93, and those are both right near the convention center. Plaza $135. So there's some pretty good options there. So just throwing it out to you. You can save yourself a bunch of money. Once again, it's the TravelShark.com/Hoke Show. So some of the some of the writing staff for WWE apparently came out this week and were talking about just how bad things were under Vince McMahon, and just saying that there was a lot of inappropriate comments and that their work was getting thrown out, and there was a lot of mocking and things like that going on in that writers' room. But Coach, is this any news that we didn't expect or know was going on in the first place anyway?
Nope, but it's nice to have some confirmation. I feel bad for those people. They always say the blueprint from the show is up at this time, and then an hour before it can get tossed. And the qualities of a narcissist is very detrimental to people that work under him. I've worked under some principals that are narcissists, and it's their way or the highway, and it can take a toll on you mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Yeah, it's rough when you're trying to make plans, especially when you're planning a TV show. And we heard all these stories about how Vince would make all of these last-minute changes and how it was really difficult for the performers to, when you're planning, when you see everything 3 days before and you kind of start planning ahead, and then all of a sudden you walk in the door and it's totally different than what you were expecting. It's just another look into some of the chaos that was behind WWE while Vince McMahon was running it. And, people always said that Vince was a millionaire that should have been a billionaire. Now he is a billionaire with the sales and everything, but I can't imagine what everybody was going through back there. I really can't. That just had to be so difficult. And I know I would be frustrated if I was putting all the time in like that to help put together a TV show and have these great ideas and say, okay, we're going to do it, and then watch it get tossed in the trash, among other things. So, that's not an easy way to work, Coach.
No, it's not. And I've heard from Eric Bischoff and other people that have worked in the higher up levels, your phone is on at 3 a.m. You might get called in, 7 a.m, midnight. You might sit in a room waiting for him to show up for 3 or 4 hours. When a meeting's planned at 10 o'clock and you get there on time, doesn't show up till 1 or 2. So WWE is in a much better place, and the sky's the limit.
Oh, you're close to Eric Bischoff. Was it like that for WCW? Was it that chaotic, or how did Bischoff plan out as far as you know?
Well, that was more of a corporate with Turner and all that. So he definitely took people's ideas. He let people present to him. He didn't have a closed door policy. He went out with the boys. He had parties at his house. He was one of DDP's best friends. He was one of the boys, and in that respect, where he listened to people, took their ideas, and made them feel valued.
Well,
for the most part, I won't say everybody, but for the most part.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a few people that weren't happy with things. But one guy whose writing got him destroyed for a while in WWE, and now I think he's finally catching on, is Las Vegas' own, one of our favorites here, Karrion Kross, who it seems like this new gimmick is finally starting to get going. We've been waiting for Kross to really catch on with the fans, and it sure didn't help with his debut on the main roster when he lost to Jeff Hardy in 2 minutes. But it seems like Kross is starting to get his footing here. And, we had the Miz turn on R-Truth, and, we'll see where that all goes. But, are you happy, Coach, with how Kross is finally getting booked in a good way?
He's earned it. And when you put the work in, when you travel all over the country, doing house shows, working in indies, doing NXT, constantly tweaking things, you deserve to see the fruits of your labor, come out. And Karrion Kross has put up with a lot of crap. And now
that's an understatement.
He is finally, him and Scarlett are finally going to have the run that they deserve. I like him better than Braun Breaker. I kind of look at them as similar characters.
Okay.
And I hope that Karrion gets a bigger push than Braun Breaker. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's his time. I think the package with Paul Ellering brings fans like me into the picture, which is only going to increase his net.
I would agree. I'm a big Paul Ellering fan as well. But I am also a huge Scarlett fan. I have seen what she can really do. And getting Kross and Scarlett back up the card, I'm going to tell you WWE is going to be thrilled they did it. They're both great people. They're both terrific performers. I still remember when I saw Scarlett do a Canadian Destroyer to Jacob Fatu in a match here in Las Vegas. Yeah, it was unbelievable. She did it to Jacob Fatu. If she can do things like that, I can only imagine if they actually would turn her loose a little bit in the ring, along with Kross. Man, that could be a lot of fun. It really would. And like I said, they're both terrific people too. People I think would get into it a lot as long as they keep booking it as well as they are right now. So,
and they can spin that into some type of YouTube couple, where they can see into their lives. Let me ask you a question, Booker man. How would you book Karrion Kross? I mean, you've seen the ascension of his career. Where would you take him from today up until WrestleMania?
No, I think you keep progressing like this, and I like the fact that he's popping up and just harassing everybody. It's going to be, I mean, I would really start getting him closer and closer to, I mean, him and LA Knight would be a terrific match for WrestleMania. That would be a lot of fun. And once again, like I said, the talents of Scarlett, I mean, I could only imagine if they pulled a stunt like that, like they did in Las Vegas with her, doing something to LA Knight that's significant. She's capable. And, Kross has just been a guy that I think, should be up at towards the top of the card. Whether he could get to championship, world championship heights or not, we'll see. But, he is a terrific performer. And I loved what he did in NXT. I really did. So I'm gonna just kind of kick back and enjoy this a little bit, and let's see what Kross can do. And then before we get to the end of the hour, just real fast, Coach, your thoughts on Lash Legend getting a win over Piper Niven? They're finally pushing her as they've got her up on the main roster. You think it's a good move?
I do. I think she's got spunk, and that's what the women's division is missing. Tiffy Time's great. She's got spunk. But if you take a look at the champ, not much spunk. If you take a look at Bayley, I loved Bayley's la 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 la. I like the la 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 girl's character and that spunk and that enthusiasm. So I'm excited. I think why not? We have women in WWE and big time roles that have been around for a while. I think let some of the new young blood come up and challenge them. Yeah,
and I felt a little bad for Piper taking the loss, but I wouldn't mind seeing those two get a good series of matches. They're both very talented performers, so good for Lash Legend on that. So
something new.
Yeah, because it's funny when you talk about the WWE Women's Division. It morphed from the Four Horsewomen, into kind of Rhea Ripley running the show. And, now you've got Liv Morgan in there. I'm okay with Liv, but I don't know. I think there's a, I agree. I think they do need some new blood in there, and, Lash is definitely going to help out with that. Well, Coach, I know you got to get rolling for, I thought you're headed to church, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about what you guys have going on at ad-free shows and where people can get involved with that.
Well, like I said, we have a new women's show with Amy and Megan, where they are studying the women's aspect of sports. They're going to have different characters on. We just premiered our first show. Missy Hyatt was on. She just had her birthday, and she talked about her 40 years in the business. We also have a show coming up with Maven, a one-off, where he talks about the end of his career. His YouTube program is really busting out, where he's given you a lot of the back secrets. And now he's going to talk to Conrad a little bit about the end of his career in WWE and where he went from there. We also have a tremendous series going on right now where David Crockett kept his brother's booking diaries.
Oh,
and
wow.
We're going month by month. And he's reading off the ledgers, seeing how much the payoffs were, how much where the houses were. So if you're an old Crockett fan, join us. It's a good time to be in ad-free shows.
There you go. So make sure to check that out at adfreeshows.com. Coach, thanks for joining us. We certainly do appreciate it. It's always good talking to you, my friend.
Yep. See you soon.
You got it. All right, everybody. And that's going to wrap up hour number 1 of the Mark Hoke Show. We're going to be back with hour number 2. Stu Myrick's going to step in here. Maybe Phil will make it back. He's in the wilderness, so we'll see if we can find him. But, of course, don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, the MarkHokeShow.com website, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. I think you got the idea. So stick around. We're going to be talking about Jon Moxley.
In 7 months or 6 months from now, we'll be together in Vegas.
That's right.
October 20th. April 20th is just around the corner.
You betcha. We'll be right back, everybody.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show.
Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.